Tell her stop playing with me. Now talk about money, then please stay away from me. I see demons, somebody please pray for me. I recline in my chair and wait patiently. Tell her stop playing with me. Yeah.
We'll talk about respect our friends.
Tell her stop playing with me.
Treating our friends like they need to be treated.
That is right.
You need to talk to your friends like your friends.
Yeah, because their mind might be entangled.
Just kicking it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People just come at you wrong sometimes. But tell your friend.
Gotta get their ass in line.
Try it every damn time.
Talking to you like they don't really know you, but they know you.
It's the real close ones that know.
That try.
Don't want to get in that entanglement. Nah, it's the close ones don't get in that
entanglement with your friends. That means you sleeping with your friends.
Yeah.
No way.
Lord.
Y'all know about entanglements.
No.
You heard that because everybody else seen it.
Man, they blew that shit up. Now let's talk about this interview that Will had with Jada.
Talk about why she said entanglements. Why
You got me fucked up on 100 levels. I'm not gonna sit there at a red table about you fucking.
For those of you who don't know, Jada was cheating on Will.
Yes.
They the one cheating. They was already
Entanglement.
separated.
Her head would have been inside the red table.
He's probably the reason that they was separated. He probably had a whole other entanglement somewhere else.
But
he probably had
for sure.
You still beefing with Will kids?
I don't like his kids, but I really don't.
That just got bread.
I really don't like any of them. Like Will Smith's.
We talked about them on a previous episode.
We did.
It's kind of like,
in my opinion, has only gotten worse since all this.
It's just really rubbing you wrong.
I mean,
you kind of like I knew it.
No, well, I mean, I figured, but I also thought like, why the fuck are they doing this shit publicly?
Wait, you said what?
This shit is just after. Ooh. Like it's just. People is at the red table talking about it. It's a lot of married men. It's a lot of married people, period, that separates and they man be with somebody else and their wife is with somebody else. But they're separated. People just don't come out and tell everybody what they done did.
Right.
It might be the next door neighbor that the wife was sleeping with.
August did come out and
but
tell
they was celebrity. So the shit is not really uncommon.
It's entanglement.
That shit can happen.
She put that golden twat on him and she got turned down.
His ass, so.
I don't know how that went. All I know is that this man came out here and told these people business.
Oh, look.
He did.
He said Will gave me the blessing.
Yeah, he did. But hold on, it get worse. Jada called the man a perkhead. Said he was a perkhead. They said, hold on. They was calling the man Og. Will said Og.
They did say they feel sorry for him.
They said Og was sick. He was very sick. She said he came to her.
Yeah, she said that he was abusing opioids.
And perks. He said Percocets.
When he fell out on that stage.
Hey, it don't matter. They didn't say all that. You know what? They really got that nigga back because he said that they really took out on that nigga.
On the slick.
Yeah, they did. They thought that shit was cute.
I wonder they still having it.
But this is the part that got me when Jada said,
wow.
She said, this ain't about getting back being petty. He told me, oh, not for you, but for me, yeah, it is.
Will, he been crying for 40 days.
Oh, yeah, his eyes were all red and scratchy looking.
Will look like he was acting. He was.
You know that Jordan meme with him crying? That's
the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will, they took a back. Will should have got some eye drops or put on some shades like you got on, April.
He did cover them damn feelings up because them hoes was hurt.
Them hoes out there. He should have put on all shades.
Her feelings probably got hurt too.
I doubt it.
She was out here scooting, bouncing around on another man.
Right.
I mean,
she didn't seem too upset.
He said he was done with her.
I don't know.
We don't know the details, but
I don't know how that works. But I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, we just going out based on what we see.
I don't want nothing to do with no entanglement.
Nah, don't get me entangled with nothing. If you want to go do some shit, leave me.
For real.
They did have separated.
We don't know that.
Wait till we sign the paperwork.
They probably was finna get divorced.
But being separated is not the same as being divorced.
It's not.
It ain't.
So it's still cheating. Separated doesn't mean anything.
No sin is bigger than the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, her being like, oh, well, we were separate. I mean,
that's an excuse.
Then if you were that serious about it, you should have been divorced already. It shouldn't take that long.
Will did not sign the papers.
It don't matter.
So, she shouldn't have married
separated.
him.
Yeah.
They should. I mean, she shouldn't have married him.
They should have went about that a little bit different.
So it's okay for him to go fuck off.
No.
Who said he did? When did that happen?
Because y'all just getting down on
No,
Jay.
but who said he did?
He had the opportunity to say.
I'm not down on Jay.
He know he did. Because when he said he was going to get his lick back, she said you already have.
That doesn't mean
like,
that could have been off, but that's not a
concern. This is a good looking black man. He's successful. He has money. Man, he
cheated.
Yeah. If I was a successful black man,
God damn,
with this money, I mean, I'm
so would you? Are you? What about if you are a successful black woman? Would you cheat?
No.
Okay.
Oh, so you have to be a guy to cheat?
Of course.
Jada cheated though.
Yeah, but she's the one that cheated.
They call her the toxic queen right now. We got Future, y'all got Jada.
Shit, hey, let's keep it going.
But the thing,
so you standing for it?
Go to hell.
That's that shit.
But no, I'm
just saying.
I'm saying from a serious standpoint, what I've been seeing, and this is from the community, some older people are like, well, this is a part of ups and downs of relationships or marriages. No, the fuck it's not. Stop trying to normalize cheating.
But it's like levels. You know, like Nick be like, it's levels to this shit. They on a whole nother.
No, there's not a level.
There's on another level.
There's no level.
There's no level to cheating. Cheating is like if I'm with somebody.
You get cheated on when you ain't married.
But when you get married, then that should never happen.
Yeah,
it shouldn't. But some
I don't
people
support it even if
some
you're in a
people cheat the
relationship.
day before they get married.
Huh? Wait, what? Hold on.
Some people get cheated the day before they get married.
They go out. Oh, never mind.
They go out. And they go have strippers. You know, they do everything that they're not supposed to do.
I'm getting married next year. I ain't got no plans doing no shit
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can't do that, but
I was raised right. You know, don't do shit that you don't want done to you. That's how I go, but what I go by. But these other people that's been married for 30, talking about how you think people that's been married for 30, 40 years, man, no the fuck they didn't.
But you know, people grandmas used to get beat up back in the day.
Yeah, and drunk.
People grandmas used to get stole off on.
Man, say.
My thing is
my grandma told my papa was tripping, so I don't know which one. I ain't talking about recently.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man, back in the day, man, my grandma used to say my papa had a whole bunch of women, but they had
it's called them Rolling Stones.
They had 6 kids.
Your papa was Rolling
Stones. He took care of all the kids. Now that my papa was this farther back the Rolling Stones. Like he's like
Temptation. He wasn't.
No.
So he.
That's like my mama.
No, getting down.
Wait, how old are you?
20 years and change. My grandpa?
How old is your grandpa?
He probably like 80 something. He's dead now, but I mean.
So with the Temptation, they're all like 80 something and dead.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
More to the story. Stop trying to normalize cheating. That's what my point is, man. That shit ain't.
But they went through some things, but they was together. But he took her to the household. Like he was gonna make sure everything was good. But no, cheating isn't right. But when it happens to you, like man, it's like.
No.
Man, I was watching Why Did I Get Married the other day, and you know the scene when Jen was chasing her husband out there. She was chasing her husband in the car and he got killed. That was at the hospital.
Yeah.
And she started going on talking about love one each other. Remember Tyler Perry's wife was fucking around talking about, she told me, y'all need to love each other. I said, no the fuck I wouldn't. We wouldn't even be there together. I don't support cheating, man. I just don't.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to do.
It's not.
If you marry someone, then
Yeah,
you
it's
shouldn't
not
be
a
cheating.
It's not a part of the ups and downs.
No, that's
just
not
because
part
your
of the
spouse,
dance.
you put up that shit don't mean we supposed to put up with that shit. Your motherfucking problem.
It's true.
Yeah, and don't put it on like everywhere that it happened and then have a discussion for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Like that just screams that you're doing everything for attention, which is basically that whole family's like goal in life is to see how much earned attention they can
What are we talking about?
The Smiths.
You bet on this?
Man,
that's his little like.
You see, Jaden tweeted out, "My mom is a whore." Was that real?
That was fake.
That was fake.
That was Photoshop.
But
they are probably treating Will at home like a little brother.
So Joe, what's going on with Megan Thee Stallion? She
got shot.
Her foot?
I thought she stepped on some glass.
I don't know.
Man, they had an update today. They had an update today saying that. I don't know. They haven't said.
They said they pulled bullets out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all over the place.
Yeah, it's all. She came out with a statement saying she got shot. She's trying to recover.
Prayers for Megan Thee Stallion.
It's.
But Tory Lanez went to jail with a gun. He's only 5'3" and 120 pounds. They made a joke of him on Twitter.
So Megan Thee Stallion.
That's short.
What you talking about?
Yeah, how tall is she?
Megan Thee
She's tall.
Stallion like 5'10", like my height.
Man, she's a big. She's.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
She tall.
If that was
Compared
going,
it to Tory
I don't know how that going, how that's working.
They said they had been hanging out.
He was climbing like a ladder.
I'm like a ladder.
Why else would you be hanging out with?
He giddy
You
up
think
on
he
her
shot her?
ass.
Huh?
Y'all think he shot her?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
all right.
sense.
So by the time, check this out. This is the realest shit ever. So by the time this episode comes out, it might have been revealed what happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very cool time for us to predict what we think happened.
He shot her.
He shot on accident.
Trying to shoot at somebody. I can see that.
Everybody in the room just wrote
He from
this man
Toronto.
out.
He don't know how to handle no damn pistol problem.
They was out there in
I think
Cali.
it was on purpose. But maybe more of like a, like, oh damn, I shouldn't have done that. But he definitely did it. Like Phil Spector.
Or maybe
I
she
don't know if
thought
you
she
know
got
about that,
shot. It was just
but He
glass.
ran to the cop and said, "Holy shit!"
I thought
I
she
shot
just
her."
stepped on some glass. Too.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's
I
how
was
she
like,
cut her
but
foot.
Y'all see the picture of her laying on the ground?
That's her?
Yeah. She had handcuffs on there, everything.
Nah, it was another picture of her like laid over,
Why did
kind of
they
like.
never-
I ain't see
It
that.
looked
I
like
see
she-
the picture with the
Nah, it was
handcuffs.
a picture like she. Nah,
Yeah. They were both in handcuffs.
that was a different girl. But you know, they said somebody
No, they
else
said
was
it
with them
was
too.
both.
They said somebody else was with them
Y'all
too. They
think they
saying they might
snorted
have
a
been
line
college
out
in
there?
it. Huh?
I think they snorted a line out there and got the treatment. He
They
got
saying that
too much
college Jenner
fun.
might have been there too.
They said they was
Oh,
in
they
the house.
They said
I'm
that
saying.
Kardashian curse is real, so they
We don't know what happened to Tori.
we don't know, but I think
Y'all said that he shot. I never said nothing.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think he shot on
Cody
accident.
is sticking with it.
It just
I'm
makes
sticking
sense.
that I think he shot on accident,
Yeah.
trying to be a
Trying
badass.
to handle the gun and it went wrong.
They said it was disturbance, so somebody was arguing. The best friend was out there too, the one that she took the pictures with. I think the her and Tori had been staying together on quarantine, and they had an argument.
Climbing that ladder.
Yeah,
It makes
Getting
sense.
up.
yeah. That is
Ooh-wee,
that's a lot.
That's a bunch of mess.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Well, she done turned that hot girl summer down.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got shot this summer.
Once again, hot girls, y'all have taken a L.
Time to get back on the
Hey,
porch.
well, I will want to let y'all know that City Girls is back.
Oh yeah.
City Girls is back. They got a look. They shit got leaked early, and I ain't gonna lie. That shit they talking about now, they on next level.
You
They
girls
not
is out
talking
here
about the same
hollering
shit.
city girl, what city girls, whatever y'all call yourselves. Y'all gotta step y'all shit up.
What the fuck is City Girls?
Oh,
I was
man.
a little,
Is that a-
rap group.
It's a rap group out of Miami. 2 girls, Carisha and JT.
they like the new Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
Wow.
But more of the story when they came out, these females, they was talking about scammers and
Just ready to relate.
taking other females' boyfriends and stuff. They was talking about that shit. That's good
They're
to get
talking about this day's push it.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that
got
$40 holler type shit.
I was more of a Spinderella fan. I always thought she was better looking than Salt or Pepper.
Didn't they just fall out not too long ago?
Huh?
Didn't they fall out not too long ago?
I don't know. They were on some show, some like, damn, I was watching some show and they like came out and performed. They didn't really look that good anymore. Makes sense.
Man,
They're pretty old.
more to the story that these females be hollering out they city girls and can't even live up to a fourth of their energy they doing.
The City Girls had definitely took it to the next level.
Yeah, it's time for y'all, you heifers, to get some jobs. I ain't gonna call you no hoes.
Yeah, fucking cow.
Y'all need to get y'all some jobs. All that city girl shit, y'all smoking them little skimpy ass blunts and shit. It's time for y'all to go to work
What the fuck?
Wow.
and get that oil changed on that damn car.
Why are you so angry? Right
I'm not angry. That's just the truth.
I feel like you're talking about somebody specific.
Oh no.
Did something to you or something.
Oh, hot chat.
No, it ain't. No, I'm just
No.
speaking. I'm just speaking
Yeah.
facts.
Who shot Megan Thee Stallion?
Who?
Huh?
Billboard News said who shot Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, that's what we just said.
It's a little mystery.
We're all like, who the fuck shot her?
Black,
So
they
that's
said
what I'm
Black
saying.
Twitter go find out.
They know who shot him.
Probably.
I think y'all said y'all think Tori shot him.
He,
I'm not gonna say no shit
I
like
think it was
that.
Oswald.
I ain't gonna incriminate nobody.
man, you incriminate yourself.
Yeah, fuck
They
it.
talking about it too.
Well, in today's news, they also canceled Nick Cannon last night.
Let me tell you something.
Yep.
They need to uncancel Nick Cannon and cancel Terry Crews.
Oh,
Hello.
man.
That's what I'm telling you. For the blacks, I'm voting that Nick Cannon is corny.
But Wild and Out is popping.
Wild and Out is
Been
alright.
popping for 15 years.
Wild and Out is popping. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not
But
too
Terry
bad.
Crews got to get canceled. They say he ain't been right since White Chicks.
Let us
They say he still thinking that man I'm a White Chick.
He think he a white shit.
You know how he was acting on White Chicks. They say he ain't been right since then.
Well, now
He was
they
acting like that on Friday. Got the trip.
Yeah, he was tripping his Damon.
Yeah.
But now they out here talking about they need to ban porn because
Who
he
said
had an
that? Terry
addiction.
Crews?
Yeah.
Wait,
They
So
said
they
that
need to ban
today.
it for everybody.
He said
just because
porn
couldn't
is bad
handle
as the poison.
Oh,
He said that he had a sex addiction.
Kurt Franklin did too, but
I don't know how that
wait a
works.
minute now.
I don't know how that works. He said he was watching porn from day to night,
Well,
and that it's bad for
So?
you.
I bet he was watching I bet he was watching
What?
something else. I bet he was watching something else that he wasn't supposed to be watching.
I mean, what the fuck? That's so
He need to
stupid.
ban it from himself.
That's
I mean,
a problem.
I hate when people try to do that shit like, oh, fucking have a problem, so it should be illegal. It should be banned for everybody.
Not only that, he was
Like-
trying to talk about black people. Be careful how we take up for black people. We don't want to come off as black supremacists. He was talking about he's for all people. Black Lives Matter could come off as black supremacists, so we need to be careful how we word things. He's just being problematic.
Yeah, but the only people that Black Lives Matter comes off as a black supremacist to are white supremacists.
Yeah,
Like, right?
but Terry
like,
Crews was taking up for that.
Yeah, but white people that aren't white supremacists aren't like sitting around thinking that this is going to become like that this is some black supremacy movement. It's more just like everybody's at one level and black people are just trying to get to that same level. Like nobody's out here thinking that this is like
Terry Crews is making an initiative to get people to think, and based off getting an initiative to get people to think, it's causing problems.
Yeah.
yeah, he's just I mean,
Problematic.
He really just should shut the fuck up.
yep, that's the more
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Problematic.
just
That is
don't
all it is.
talk.
Just,
It's that easy.
He should have said nothing because now it's saying something.
Yeah.
It's really the truth.
Well, don't be surprised if he don't be in. He's not in another movie.
But I will say this: what they said about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon probably shouldn't have made it about a specific group of people.
Yeah, that was wrong for that. How they just canceled him like that.
Oh, Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Nick Cannon is not canceled.
No.
Well, I mean, he got fired by Viacom, so
And they ain't
I'll
playing.
stop
That's
paying my
not the-
cable bill.
huh?
Stop watching cable.
Well, they go put on your credit.
Yeah, because I mean, Viacom pretty much owns every single TV channel. Like, if you
It'll
look
be
up,
up there.
like,
August anyway.
yeah,
What you gonna do? Start watching Netflix?
Just listen to music.
So you're gonna be one of the people that got a 55-inch TV with no cable but just Wi-Fi.
Just listen to music.
just watches YouTube on it.
TV, watch me.
Yeah,
Oh man, you watching Hulu all day?
he'll
Now
be
they did
just
say,
fine.
I seen a post on Facebook. Black people let's come together and stream Nick Cannon music all day. You going too far?
Yeah, I ain't listening to
Yeah.
that.
I
But
ain't
then
trying
you
to
was
hear
just
nothing.
listening to
I was
Gigolo.
Gigolo. I
was-
never heard this in a minute. But
Yeah.
that's it. I said y'all pushing
Do he
it.
have
That's all
any
he
other
got,
songs?
don't he?
That's the only song I remember. Was Gigolo with R. Kelly.
No, I thought there was.
I can't think of nothing else.
I thought there was one that was in one of his movies.
Leave
That
me
was
good,
in
I'm
like
watching
Love
the
Don't
movie.
Cost a Thing. Didn't he have a song that came out like?
Oh, you
with
talking about
that
the song
movie?
with
Yeah, I'm gonna make you love you, baby.
Yeah,
with Murphy Lee and them.
Yeah.
Well, he on the
No, that
song
wasn't his
with
song.
No, that's no.
What
Was
was
he?
Nick
I thought
Cannon's
he-
song,
I
was
thought
it?
he was on there.
Maybe not.
He might not have been on there.
He was on Laundry Man, wasn't he?
What?
No, R. Kelly was on there. He was in the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
He was in the
More
video.
so, I ain't streaming his music, but I watch Drumline and Love Don't Cost a Thing all day.
Yeah.
Underclassmen was pretty good too. You remember that one?
I ain't seen that in a long
I
time.
was
was
a good
watching
movie.
Wild and Out all day long.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be
Marathon.
completely honest with you.
My child loves it.
I have not really watched Wild Now probably since like I don't know how long. I watched
Cat
episodes
Williams was
here
on
and
it.
there.
I was finna say I haven't
Make
watched
it
Wild
up.
and Out since 2006.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking since I was in like middle school, and then I was like, I can't do this shit anymore.
Like Wild, yeah, that was last time I actually like sat
I think I
and
watched the
it.
episode like in 2015. I was like, I'm too old for this.
Yes,
No.
same. Like
Yeah,
after
I've been
like
watching them clips like when everybody be getting.
Don't get me wrong,
right
I
off.
appreciate him, putting, the people he put on. I'm not going to go against the grain for Nick Cannon, but I appreciate Nick Cannon, but You still corny, but I appreciate Nick Cannon.
I just think Wild 'N Out's fucking garbage.
It's because Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's
It's not even just that. It's
But
just
the people on there, they're hilarious.
No,
Yeah.
their
Yeah, it's
jokes,
people on there
their
funny.
jokes are not funny. It's
Chico
like,
Bean, Carlos Miller,
They
and,
funny.
and old boy funny.
DC
this
be
shit's
tripping
not
too.
funny.
DC do be
at
tripping. I
all.
can't think of his name.
It's somebody else to be on there tripping too.
It's
It's
okay
a couple
show.
of them.
I mean, I'm just cool. I
And the
appreciate.
guests that they bring on there.
Yeah, I appreciate Nick Cannon. I'm not gonna.
Yes, a
go
lot of
against
people
the
that came up off of Wild 'N Out though.
I laugh more watching Cold Case Files than I laugh at fucking
You right.
Wild 'N
So
Out.
You're right.
fucking cold-hearted.
grain. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Cold-hearted.
I completely agree. Because sometimes they'd be like, "Carl never did anything wrong," and then John came in her life and things took a tumble.
Yeah.
You know how they interviewing a little
And
person.
there's always one like
It's always that friend.
Yeah.
It's their friend and just be sitting
No.
there.
there's always
I
one.
never really liked that guy. He was
It was
uneasy.
something always strange.
It
His
made me
demeanor
uneasy.
just threw me off.
But
He
I
came
couldn't-
one day throwing liquor bottles everywhere.
Then I still, Carol, I seen Frederick throwing coins. He's so ignorant. Like, and you been sitting there looking
I
like,
knew he had a problem when
Yeah.
he started eating straws.
for real, he's so for real. I'm done.
Hey, Cold
And you
Case
just be sitting there like,
Files is funny, man. But I watched the
Forensic
show.
Files too.
I watched the show that was
Yeah.
crazy yesterday. It's
Dear
about.
Thy Neighbor too. Well, it's not funny.
I ain't watched it in a minute.
Woo.
But no, it's another show on A&E. It's called like, it's basically about these kids that went to jail and they were tried as adults. And there was one dude on there.
I can't watch that. I'm glad they took off Live PD.
No,
Me
Live Feed is a
too.
good show. But check this out, bro. Now, let's just cut to the case. These some niggas. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So back in like 1998, this dude was like 16. It was 4 of them. I think it was 3 of them total. They had kidnapped this girl, robbed her, raped her, and everything. And
Not Cynthia Brown.
nah,
Antonio
no, fool.
Hey, Antonio lying anyway.
Anyway, man, they had.
Y'all think Antonio tell the truth?
These were black
Alright.
dudes, and they raped and kidnapped this white woman. So
What?
he got tried at 6. They gave him 100 years. I said, damn.
Ooh.
I said, but let it have been a white guy they did that. He probably got about 15. They gave him 100. So they tried to give him an appeal on it. It just went bad. I said, they not gonna let his ass out. So they fucked around. Said he by the time he get out of jail, he'll be 65.
Okay.
They gave him another 50. They gave him basically he got 50 years.
See, that's why Meek Mill is talking about justice reform nation.
It was fucked up. They gave him 100 years.
To be serious, I get the demeanor of what you saying.
Yeah.
I understand
Man,
the
that
last
punishment don't
point,
fit that crime.
but it don't. No, it don't. But
No.
that's why we gotta have justice reform because they really be.
we gotta
fucked up.
vote.
But it starts before the president.
Yeah,
You
voting
have to
for
vote.
the president's
Yeah.
kind of a waste of time.
You got to
but you
start
gotta
voting early.
You gotta vote for your governor and stuff. People really
You gotta vote for the people in your town.
No, you
Yeah,
gotta
that
vote.
too.
People don't even vote for the
People
people in
don't
their
do that.
town.
They ignore this shit.
Yeah, like y'all sitting there talking about y'all over talking about Abbott playing. What you
I'm
say?
not even gonna talk about it because I don't even vote.
What you
I
say
ain't
Abbott
even
was
vote.
doing playing red light, green light?
Nah, I said he treating Texas like Dollar Bill did on Players
Players
Club.
Club. You see?
Yeah.
He is, but you know
running
what?
this bitch just
we
like
ain't
this.
even think about voting for him. So when y'all
Never
get her
thought
talking
about
about beefing with this person, okay, Trump don't run the state of Texas.
No.
Every state got their own rules, so it starts a little bit closer. Like,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong,
for
Trump be
real.
tripping, but we gotta start getting on Abbott's
Yeah.
and.
Abbott got to roll up out of here.
Ms. Ack.
Hold on, who?
Part man, part
Matt.
machine.
Oh, you beefing with Mac?
Man,
That's
who?
the mayor. What you
Andy
mean?
Mack?
Yeah.
What he do to you?
What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, what'd he do?
He's not enforcing what he's supposed to enforce.
So
What's
you
he
beefing
supposed
with
to
Andy
enforce?
Mac?
I'm not even beefing with him, but I heard that the governor was.
Oh,
Nah, they be
happy
hanging.
with
I ain't
him.
gonna say that, but they be hanging out.
Yeah, I heard
Andy
he's
Mack
like-
and Greg Abbott be hanging out.
They do. They do.
I done
heard
seen
he
them
wasn't
hanging
happy
out. They
with
be
the
hanging
result.
out.
check this out. I ain't beefing with nobody. I
Greg
ain't.
Abbott is from Dangerfield, somewhere around there.
That's what I was trying to tell somebody.
He from
And they
around
was
there.
like, nah, he from Wichita Falls. That's what Google said. But I was like, no, they was like, he's from East 6.
Yeah, he from
That's
like.
why he ain't with yeah.
I was say we can't.
Well, they
And the moral of the story is, if y'all don't want these people in the mix, y'all need to start at home. Let's not get on TV talking about we don't want Kanye, we don't want Trump.
No.
Man, y'all can't even figure out who you want over Greg County.
True.
Let alone, y'all don't even know who you want. I ain't gonna go there with you.
No, you
Y'all don't want me to go there.
Cause
Just
they
look
not
shit.
gonna understand
Y'all,
that.
man, y'all can't figure out who gonna fix the fish at the barbecue. At the barbecue. Y'all beefing about who bringing
I
it.
heard eating Long John Silver's.
We try to have a gathering. Both of y'all done bought Coke. Somebody mad because all we got to drink is Coke.
Somebody wants some water.
Dr. Pepper, that's why they couldn't get Coke.
And it's always us.
Hey, I'm just
Watching the food. Such a fish by 3 4
It's always a motherfucker they ain't never brought shit.
They put picture in for shit.
Man,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
I
you
ain't
bought
going
paper
to
plates and Dr. Thunder.
I'm just trying to open it.
You bought lime vanilla.
$1.50 soda.
Yeah.
Pay for
It
$1.50.
just say orange on the can.
This shit give you kidney
Orange.
stones now. Got your damn liver
Got
fucked
the
up.
kids out here
Cola.
drinking in the
It say
room.
cola. It don't say cold.
Cola.
Cola. It's just cola. Might have like a firework on it. I'm just like,
Cody, how y'all barbecues and fish fries go? Y'all do
They're
fish
pretty
fries?
bland. If you
Wow.
like that.
Well, have you ever been to a black person barbecue with fish fries?
Yeah.
I
been on
bet
big
them
ones.
Not a
hoes
fish fry. We do fish fries because like my family I come from a long line of
they go fishing.
rednecks, and they fish and
Y'all be cook-
they're not good at a lot, but they're good at fish fries. But I hate catfish, so I
You
just
had
eat
too much?
I just eat the sides. And then
what size do y'all consist of with y'all be?
hush puppies, French fries, coleslaw,
Sweet or not sweet?
corn sometimes. Huh?
Is your coleslaw sweet or not sweet?
Oh, it's not
You like
sweet. There's like
coleslaw?
jalapenos and shit in it. I don't like any of it. Coleslaw's disgusting too. But I like hush puppies and French fries, so I just eat a plate of that.
I don't like this.
And now I'm 360 pounds. So
Y'all don't have no
Bet you
potato
can't guess
salad
why.
in there?
You don't have like no cucumber salad, nothing like that.
not for fish fries, but when we do barbecues, we do potato
Jody
salad
likes it.
sometimes. For barbecues, we usually do like ribs, greens, mac and cheese, deviled eggs, and sometimes potato salad. But there's
Somebody
like
got an auntie back there.
Yeah, put
I
that
usually,
on.
I mean, I make some of it.
Okay.
Like I make deviled eggs. I'm pretty good at that. I make some pretty good ass deviled eggs, really. But
You
my
like you
dad,
pretty
my
good
dad's
on-
a really good cook.
Pretty good at the ribs.
Huh?
Like you'll be pretty good at the ribs.
I'm good at eating them. I mean, you don't really like cook them. I mean, you
You
don't
like
do
you just be a
anything.
fool with that season.
Huh?
Like you got your own type of.
I know you got a badass batch
She
at the
talking about
house.
hungry, like I can't hear. I count it, but I said it again.
Speaking
Yeah.
of devil eggs, I seen some ghetto shit the other day. Somebody made devil eggs with shrimp on top of it.
Whoa, no way.
Y'all got to stop doing that shit.
You gotta stop putting shrimp on everything.
I
now.
seen shrimp on pancakes on Twitter. That shit ain't cool.
What?
Yes.
Ugh,
and I
what the
and
fuck?
these,
You know, a lot of people love to put their shrimp on that damn rotel.
that's ghetto.
No, fuck
I don't
'em.
want no shrimp rotel.
I
Fuck
don't want
'em.
no cheese mixed in. Like, I don't know.
Seafood and cheese doesn't go together.
Right.
You should never mix those two things.
No, mac and cheese is pretty goddamn good.
With
Oh,
what?
with some
With
lobster?
shrimp?
No,
No.
with lobster meat.
Yeah, lobster and mac.
Yeah, that's the
fuck
difference between shrimp.
that.
Lobster and
Nah,
mac and
yeah, that
cheese.
is pretty good.
All
Yeah,
that
it
shit's
is good.
gross.
Lobster and
But I ain't put no
is
shrimp
good.
in it now.
The shrimp and macaroni and cheese ain't good.
Well, how is one good but not the other?
Cause lobster don't taste like shrimp.
Shrimp got a
It
difference.
still tastes gross as shit.
I just started eating seafood 2 years ago. That's why I can determine
Joe, do you
it's
eat
a
turtle?
Huh?
I haven't
A
been there
turtle?
before. I've had turtle soup before.
Joe be eating turtle, yeah.
I had
What?
turtle soup
He
before.
just takes a bite right out through the shell.
Nah, he cracked the shell and cook it and
What? Y'all act like I'm Bowser or something. I'm Mario. What y'all say? Niggas act like
Oh
I'm
shit!
Bowser.
I'm joking.
What?
Joe goes down
I'm
to the
finna find
pond.
everybody in here.
the Chinese
I'm
woman
finna find
that be
everybody.
on Facebook, they be eating, she be eating all kinds
I
of
hate that
That black
motherfucker.
woman?
stuff. She be,
Yep.
no,
She be
Chinese-
right.
And now the
What
whole
she be?
That's what she be. She be going
Why
through like
did she do
that.
that?
and now the whole country shut down. So
Started with that.
where do you think? There's some chick
They
eating
talking about the
goddamn
bubonic
bat.
plague might be back.
You know, every year like
It's
there's
always
like a
virus.
dozen. No, every year there's like a dozen people in the U.S. alone that have the bubonic plague.
What is that?
The Black Plague. It killed a third of the population in 1350.
Long time
Yeah,
ago.
but everybody keeps going. Holy shit! What if it comes back?
The Lord is coming back.
It never left. Like they didn't get rid of it.
Like coronavirus never leaving.
No,
That's gonna be- it's gonna
coronavirus
be
has
like-
always been around too. Coronavirus isn't like a new thing. There's just different kinds of coronavirus.
Yeah,
Just the flu.
Yeah.
basically.
Ain't nothing but old pumped up flu.
I ain't gonna say coronavirus ain't real, but I think the numbers they putting out there is fake. Cause are those positive tests, or those are how many tests that you took?
Well, they was talking about some people. They were saying some people went to get tested, and it was taking a long time for them to get the results, so they left. And they were saying some people didn't even get tested. They just put their number down like on the testing thing to get tested. They never got tested. They left the facility and they received a phone call saying they had it.
And there's like
but they never took the test.
There's a bunch of false positives too, like people that said that it showed up that they were positive for it, then they got a second test done like at a hospital, and it's like, no, you don't have it. So it's like, well, what the fuck? I mean, but they're still counting.
As a coronavirus survivor, I just think
we all had. I promise you, we did.
I tested positive for corona.
I don't have to be tested positive.
We had the symptoms.
I had the symptoms.
He knew it in his heart.
Right.
Man, Aiden, he went to the doctor. They said he had an upper respiratory infection. They didn't know what it was.
I've said this on her before. I'm saying it today. I've never had that in my life. And then people talking about I had upper respiratory infection. Not bronchitis, not the flu, not strep throat, but upper respiratory infection. Y'all giving me drink, which y'all give drink for bronchitis. But y'all just give me drink.
Yeah, they gave me that too.
Y'all give me an antibiotic.
Thank
when
God.
you start taking an antibiotic for a cold, and then it's just too many different drugs.
They were trying to say Aiden had a respiratory infection.
Yeah, it's just too many.
That ain't no upper respiratory infection.
Check this out. They gave me all these different drugs though in the same process. It's like there's just too many drugs. There's too many sicknesses and drugs at one time. That don't make sense.
I just had this strong ass cough and it was just hard to shake.
Yeah, how you get a cough but you're on an antibiotic?
Yeah, you could have got that from Black and Mounds.
Oh, what the fuck?
Kodak ain't lying.
No, if I'm for real, like it was a cough that just came literally like out of nowhere.
I got bronchitis from smoking a vape. I got so sick. I got bronchitis. I would never try that again.
That's whoever vape smoked off and got you sick.
Yeah,
it was my own.
And you got
yourself sick.
Man, that vape. I'm not. Man, no, this messing with your lungs.
You touched the tip of that thing and it went from there.
Couldn't breathe. I was about to fall out at work. Had to drive to the hospital.
You had to drive to the hospital from work?
Yes.
How'd that go?
I couldn't breathe.
How did that go? Like,
I couldn't breathe.
You just told management, you was like, I can't breathe.
I couldn't. Yeah, I got to walk out. I said, ooh, I can't breathe.
And you just left.
Yeah, I had to go. But I started panicking when I can't breathe. Like, I started
Same.
tripping. Like, I gotta go get some
just like I
oxygen.
almost hit that damn trailer.
Woo! I had to take a little happy pill on that one. Cause, woo, my nerves was shot. Like, but I whipped that bad boy. We missed it.
Once again, I had PTSD from that shit. Cause I cannot ride. I rode down High Street the other day and Aiden told me, why you hitting the brakes? I said, oh, nothing.
Don't worry about it.
I wish I could have seen it, man. I'll never get that visual right there. That motherfucking truck came around there in that big ass trailer, man. I thought that was it.
I thought that was it too. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
I didn't know if I had it or not.
And I just upgraded my life insurance so they breathing to be paid.
I just kind of just let it ride out. I stayed positive.
Man, he back there screaming and laughing.
I really started crying. Like
I started.
God is good. God is good because we were so close.
We was gonna make it. We covered.
That trailer would have flipped that damn Toyota over.
We were gonna make it.
Yeah, my car is
gotta be positive. That's why we made it.
Well, yeah, I feel like we got to see.
Look, I gotta have faith in me too, cause
you got some good ass brakes on that motherfucker. I tell you
that. She got some sense. Cause the brakes and the stoppers, what turns is we swerved out the way in the brakes.
In the motherfucker.
Cause if we would have kept going, if this would happen, we swerved out the way of Mr. Truck, the brakes stopped us within the trailer. I don't know if you really realize what happened. I'm telling you, I watched the whole thing. I said, oh, that's why I was like, I couldn't do no butt laugh. DP started screaming. I couldn't do no butt laugh because it was like, oh shit, we really missed death. That's when you was texting me.
Yeah.
What happened? When you was texting me, we was almost dying.
Cause if you'd have seen this shit, you probably
we would have seen it. You would have got stuck in the car.
Do you ever drive it?
If we had a wreck, you would have got stuck in the car.
On High Street with stuff in the car. We out here. We shouldn't even be on this side of town.
But if I got stuck, you would definitely get stuck.
Still funny.
First of all, I
was gonna say, don't act like you're not gonna
if
get
y'all
stuck.
both in the car, y'all both of us, I've been recording y'all on the
y'all should
stretcher.
sit in a Camry. That's why we need a big truck.
If we would have had a wreck and y'all both was in that motherfucking car, first of all, I would have fell out so I could
Remember
go to the
that
hospital.
van that almost hit us? On your side too.
Oh yeah, that was another episode too. But I'm saying if y'all got stuck in that car, cause first of all, I'm finna file out for a check. I'm gonna be recording y'all while I'm in the girl like, look
Just
at these two
be on yourself.
motherfuckers.
No, if you
What?
shit yourself.
I ain't doing that.
Well, no.
It's an extra couple $1,000.
If you pee on yourself or have a bowel movement, you gonna get paid.
Well, I think shitting you get a bigger one.
I'm gonna stick it to the pee.
Man, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
pee.
You
got
wouldn't
right
shit
on
on
the
yourself
shit.
for what if it was an extra $5,000? You wouldn't shit on yourself.
Nah,
You wouldn't
I
shit
missed it.
yourself for $5,000.
No.
Missed it.
I'd shit myself for $50. I'd do it right now if one of y'all
Don't
handed me a
shit,
50.
don't shit in my car, Cody.
I ain't
It's gonna be a whole
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna call the police on you. Kick him over here. No,
I mean, that's not that bad of a thing.
you show yourself over here. You kick him over here.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm right there with them. $5,000, hell yeah.
You show yourself my
Then you do that.
No, not in the wreck, not just sitting here on
Okay, but
in a wreck. If you do that shit in my car, you better get the fuck out of the car.
no.
Yeah.
What if we were like,
Nah, because if you shit up and test him, if you shit on yourself in a rig, you better call your mama.
Man, you better call somebody.
So we can't leave together. I'm not riding with you.
You're not
and
getting
not
an
riding.
ambulance.
no,
with
you
me.
call an ambulance because then you get
Girl,
an
you're
even
not
bigger
going
settlement.
with
No,
me.
they're gonna hit you for the 800.
What 800?
Anytime you call an ambulance, you ride an ambulance, it's that $900 bill.
I thought it was
So?
6,000.
No, it's 800-900.
Okay, but if you're gonna
My
get an extra
insurance paid for that.
$5,000, I mean, you're gonna get.
I ain't trying to ride
Look,
with
I'm not finna do all that just for a couple. Man, no.
But you gonna have to go to the
Bag.
hospital with shit all over yourself.
I'm with Cody on the bag.
Who am I trying to impress at the hospital? I'll walk in there with shit on myself. Ain't that big of a deal.
Somebody gotta clean you up. That's
Exactly. That makes it even better.
I'm gonna be like, y'all talking shit, bitch. I'm gonna get paid.
You only get paid a couple of.
I'm with you, but I ain't finna just sit here and shit on myself $5,000 before in
Rick Ross shit on himself, he said, in that song, and he said he's embarrassed. You know, you could tell. And
Yeah, and if he's embarrassed, then it must be bad.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking like
His whole career is
But
embarrassing.
still, I'm gonna take that
Rick Ross said
chance.
that he was like laid in the homo. You know, he said all that on that song. Y'all
All
know
right,
song
what's the
done.
least amount of money you'd walk outside right here? Walk outside and shit yourself. What's the least amount of money you'd do?
The
it
least
for?
amount, just like on the dead end.
Yeah, like somebody's like, I have this amount of money in a briefcase.
$1 million
All you gotta
bucks.
do, $1 billion?
Million.
Oh, $1 million. But still, that's
That's a lot of embarrassment.
Oh man, probably 5K.
Man, that's
So you wouldn't do it in a wreck?
lowballing yourself.
So you would do it out in your front yard, but you wouldn't do it in a wreck. It's
Not
way
with y'all in the car, no.
no. It doesn't have to be us in a car. Just you in your car.
Just me by my car, shit on myself.
Yes, and somebody hits
Oh
you from
yeah, I didn't
behind.
shit all on my leg. It's all there. I done hit it.
That's what the fuck
Yeah.
I've been
That's what
saying.
we
this
was
whole
talking
time.
I thought you meant like as a group.
I'm not
No,
doing
not
it.
Yeah, the Rick is a
If we
group.
would have hit that damn trailer, I would have shitted on myself.
I would've been
Straight
so
the
bitch.
fuck up. Hey, I would have paid you, got your car
Well,
detailed.
No, I don't even want the car no more.
But okay, but let's go back on this other part. When I said if you shit on yourself at the house, in my house, the thing about it, if somebody offers you some money to shit on yourself in here, Coda, just give me some.
Yeah, sure. I'll split it with you. Like 70-30.
That's cool. Just,
Okay.
you
Just
gotta
give me
give me some.
$100.
I'm not gonna give you shit. It's not your house.
What?
You know, cause you there. You
But
don't-
I'm sitting like right by you. I mean, if I'm right by you, it's just a little
But that's
coming
not rude.
crazy.
It's rude to joke because he lives here.
I don't.
It is
Wait,
because I never gonna look at that chair the same. Like I never look at
But
it.
you could buy a new chair.
Yeah, that's why I would have to have some.
I know,
money
that's
to
what
buy
I'm
me.
saying. I would give you 30%.
Thank you. That's
But
what
Cody,
I'm
But
telling
those two
you.
aren't gonna get shit.
No, they don't need nothing.
Yeah, I'm right
I don't need
beside
y'all
you.
coming into my money.
Yeah.
I don't need y'all
I
coming
mean,
into
by the
my
time I
money.
split that up, I'm not really doing a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's why you need to say that. Don't do it.
I mean,
No,
but you know what? That goes on what I said earlier about keeping the extra little bag in your car. If you do shit on
To
your
shit in?
No.
Wait, what the fuck do you mean?
I'm done.
A recovery
What are you
fit.
talking about?
He talking about recovery fit.
Wow.
Oh, in case you shit yourself.
Man, nah,
I'm done.
like for example, me like at work, like if I get my coveralls wet, or I'm just drenched from rain outside, I keep some clothes in the car to change in.
Yeah.
That's what we saying.
I keep
Oh.
a pair of basketball shorts, t-shirt, tennis shoes in case somebody want a box.
What?
And
How
some
many times
drawers in
have
there.
people
He
tried to
been
box?
there.
You never know. You never know. You might have your best clothes on, nigga. Talking crazy. Bet. Hold on, I got you, cuz. Go to the car, throw this on. You back in the bunch. What the fuck?
You gonna tuck your shirt in?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, because you don't need to
that's just
fly.
gonna rise
Yeah,
up
you gotta
and
be
suddenly
able
we're
to
in a
just get
fucking
in
crop
there.
top.
And just,
Someone.
And that fat person problem.
yeah, you
You
definitely
not
want to.
fall.
You don't want to fall in the fight and you fat. You
don't wanna
gonna
fall.
get kicked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you can't get back up,
You gonna get kicked.
If you're fatter, you can take more kicks, though.
shit,
I mean, you
damn
can kick me
that.
in the stomach. It's not gonna hurt.
Nah,
as
not if
bad.
I kick you on top of your head though.
Oh no, that's not gonna.
That's gonna
Like a
count.
motherfucker.
That's gonna be funny. Kick the fat nigga in the
Can
head.
somebody kick me in the top of the head?
We the fat nigga.
Man, speaking of hitting the head, I seen that video that you sent me the other day that Karen got knocked out.
Yeah, it was his
She
grandma.
Wait, you're talking about the one that got
So-
hit with a fire truck?
No,
Damn!
There's one.
They said she was talking shit.
Yeah, there was.
But now this woman was talking shit to. It was a white woman. She was talking bad to this old black woman, and I guess it was her grandson. He
Yeah.
stole off on her.
I'm talking she,
I'd do the same.
you know that knuckle
Said, "You
sandwich.
cuss my grandma out."
Yeah,
Oh no! If somebody cussed my grandma, it'd be over.
The one that smoked
quick.
milk.
yeah. I
Oh,
thought
they
you
can
would
cuss
care
her out. I
about
don't
him.
give a fuck. But I'm
Oh,
talking
you got
about
one you care about.
the one I care about. The one that's living in the fucking mountains.
She
I
just
don't
a
give a
lost cop.
fuck what happens to her. But, and neither does she apparently.
Man, he
so.
sucker punched her ass like she went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like sleep.
That's not good. But
They
do
need
what
to
you
do
gotta
She
it.
do.
probably got a
Okay.
fucking brain aneurysm or some shit.
Oh,
Where you
yeah,
hit
you're not
her.
gonna cuss my grandma out.
No.
Well, she should
I
have
mean-
stopped talking that shit.
You're not
She
gonna.
was
You're not gonna cuss my grandma out.
That's what happens.
I'm
if
not
people
gonna let
don't-
nobody cuss my
For real, you
grandma
ain't
out.
gonna talk bad to my grandma.
You're not gonna yell at my grandma.
You wouldn't even got that far. He already knew what was up.
That's what happened.
He was finna not carrying out.
Yeah, as soon as she got the boom, he stole her. She
He
was
didn't
gone.
think about it either. He did not think
He
about
ain't
it.
put
I
no
would've
thought. He
just
put no
walked
thought
up.
into it.
I would have just walked up to her with a baseball bat and just
He
fucking
didn't have it.
Mark McGuire her ass.
God damn.
He would
Oh,
have
he
went
going to
to jail.
jail
That's fine. I'd go to jail for that.
for hitting somebody because your grandma. Oh,
Yeah.
in other news.
I think I'd be respected in jail if I went there for that.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, yeah, that nigga talking. Yeah, I feel you. Jelaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine.
Let the white people
Show
say
her
their
some
white
respect.
names.
She got sit in jail until like April
Wow.
2021 for that damn trial. They
Yeah.
said she is
Who
not
is she?
getting out. The lady in the
That was
what-
helping
With
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Epstein.
Epstein.
yeah, she ain't getting
The
out.
one that I said was on the run, they
She
called
don't
him.
need to be. She don't need to get out.
She's not. Well, I mean, she might. If she, I mean, she could post bail, I think, unless they took that away.
No, they not let they
Oh, they
not
took
letting
that
her
away?
out.
All right,
I
yeah.
read
That's
when
good.
she's not getting out.
Yeah.
But ever since that
They
stuff
let
came
this shit
out,
go along. They let this shit prolong so long. It's just like they old.
Well, they have to. I
But-
mean,
I hate when shit like that come out. They try to tag other people along with like they trying to write Oprah off, Barack Obama, all, and they trying to they eating that child sex.
well, they're trying to get everybody. I mean, Ellen's part
I
of
heard,
it.
I
I
heard
mean,
something about some
Did y'all believe
Pizzagate
it?
thing shit
the
too.
Pizzagate thing is kind of like a little bit aside from that. That's more like involves like Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Pizzagate is there's a restaurant in Washington D.C. called like Comet Pizza or something like that, and the guy that owns it gets like all this money from like campaign, just like distribution money. People are like, how the fuck? Why is this going to like a pizza shop? Like out of all people, and the guy that owns it's like listed as like in the top 10 most influential people in Washington D.C. It's like how in the fuck is this guy like so big? And the theory is that people like they do human trafficking, like child human trafficking through that pizza restaurant. And it's like part of like the Hillary Clinton emails that got leaked by WikiLeaks.
But they got the
talk
code
about it.
words in Hollywood.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
trying to put Justin
Pizza
Bieber.
parties.
Yeah, and then that's where they call it a pizza party is like the code word in Hollywood for whenever they're gonna kill or fuck kids or both.
Oh wow.
And apparently like there's like all these like Ghislaine Maxwell is supposed to like rat out all these names. Like there's a bunch getting thrown around that there's no real evidence yet, but she supposedly has evidence of like people like Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg and I mean a lot of people.
This gonna be the next hottest thing to the O.J. Simpson case.
Oh,
now.
it's way bigger than that because
Yeah.
I mean
Sure is.
pedophilia is the worst crime there is.
People with money sometimes be the weirdest people that have like the weirdest, deepest, craziest, twisted thoughts that you would never
Yeah.
think.
That's
But
true.
it's also been going on for
Very
I mean
true.
since the 60s at least. Like it's part of like the theory is that it's part of this like satanic ritual. Like they wear these red leather shoes and that's supposed to symbolize
So their shoes don't stain when the blood get
so
on
their
them.
shoes don't
Doing
smell blood gets
sacrifice
on
of
them.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like George Soros' son, Alex Soros, is part of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Run that back
red
one more
shoes.
time.
So Google red leather shoes, and you'll see that the Pope wears red leather shoes, and people have created this like theory that people wearing red leather shoes are part of this ritualistic cult, like cannibalistic cult of like eating and killing children, and they wear red leather shoes because it doesn't stain like whenever the blood gets on it. And there's like all these theories that like Macaulay Culkin talked about it on this like French newspaper, and that they took off the interview, but he was saying that he knew about it. And yeah,
Corey Feldman for years has been talking.
And Corey Feldman's holding people fucking ransom with that shit, saying, "Oh, I need $10 million, or I'm not telling anybody." It's like, yeah, you're not making yourself look credible by asking people for money before you'll make a documentary. But yeah, I mean, he said that there was like a high-profile Hollywood actor that molested Corey Haim on the set of Lucas, and everybody thinks it's Charlie Sheen, which makes sense.
Yeah, when he getting folks AIDS.
Well, he has AIDS now, but I don't think he did then. I mean, he was pretty young then. I'm sure he got it from one of the hookers. But yeah, there's a whole conspiracy behind it, but it goes back like really far to like.
But what makes it unique is that it ties into the campaign, the political side that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Look at all.
So it's like, if it ain't true, why does it tie to these emails that this specific person had? Mm-hmm. Which is a political figure, which is tied to a lot of these political figures that you've been hearing.
That's like out there 9mm.
I mean, there's a lot of. There's like there's a huge history of weird satanic rituals within like Hollywood. Like that's a pretty well known. I mean, with Anton LaVey, the guy that made the Church of Satan, that he was really good friends with Sammy Davis Jr. and Marilyn Monroe, and I mean, that they all kind of associated with each other.
This shit is mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, apparently Marilyn Monroe was like really deep into it, and Sammy Davis Jr. was like known for being pretty public about it, which is fucking hilarious to me. But yeah, he was.
Hey, I've never seen The Lovely Bones.
That's a very depressing, weird movie.
And that's kind of like what they doing. Like, that man was killing little kids, girls.
I've never watched it.
It's a good movie, though.
You need to watch Eyes Wide Shut if you want to see a movie that's like pretty damn close to what this is. Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. It's.
I remember that. It was like a cult movie, and they was having sex and shit.
But it's kind of somewhat like this. It's one of the craziest movies I've ever seen, huh?
What was it about?
Well, they weren't kids, but I mean, it was just talking about like how high society. A lot of them are part of these like ritualistic cults where some like fucked up shit happens. But that's more like with like the Bilderbergs and the Rothschilds and stuff like that. But yeah. Either way, shit is creepy. And most famous actors and stuff are already fucking weird. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just a clique of fucking weirdos.
It's a lot to get out there and act the fool in front of the camera.
Speaking of acting fool, that boy from Empire went to jail the other day. He looked cracked out.
Yeah, that time he didn't choke his wife for 9 hours. Brashard Gray.
For 9 hours?
They said he had her locked down for 9 hours.
How do your hand grasp just an hour?
Well, he didn't choke her for 9 hours, but he held her against her will for 9 hours and choked her a couple times and, clotheslined her. Probably R&B move.
He closed-lined her?
Mm-hmm. That's that R&B. He's singing too, so he might have been singing. Whoop your ass.
His mugshot, he looked like he.
Yeah, I saw it.
He was looking just like James Brown.
He looked like Pookie.
I remember, what's that guy that was on? I think he was on That's So Raven. That kind of lost his.
Orlando Brown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely gone.
He said something that he was. Man, I can't remember. He said some shit that he was like molested or something by.
Will Smith.
Yeah, by Will Smith. He said
he tried to say he got raped by Will Smith.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown be yelling out shit. Everybody that was on Disney just went off deep and look at Raven Simone,
Miley Cyrus,
Orlando Brown. Britney Spears looked cracked out too.
Well, she was part of the Mickey Mouse Club, I guess. But
well, she ain't been right since Kevin Federline.
No, there's a conspiracy behind her too, like about how restrictive her life is. It's pretty interesting. Britney Spears, like her dad owns.
They're trying to say that she
all of her life. it's kind of weird. Like, if you follow her on Instagram, it's kind of, like, disturbing. Like, the shit she makes. Like, you're like, how is a 40-year-old woman, like, doing shit like this? Apparently, she can't leave her house without permission. She can't go to, like, Starbucks on her own.
They said she can't even get her own money. She can't spend her own money without somebody's permission.
It's her dad, and her dad, like, just owns everything so that he can keep getting money off of her. He had her listed as, like, being someone with dementia or something, so that she has to have a guardian.
Like a person.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked.
Is that when she had her hair like yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Carol Feather, she was out there attacking Carol Feather out there.
After the K-Fed shit. Yeah.
He did not fumble the bag. He drove her crazy and got custody of the kids and got child support.
He sure did. But he had a baby. Remember, he had a baby by the girl off Moesha.
Yeah.
You know, I had seen an interview. They had interviewed one of the kids. One of Brittany's kids, and he was saying that, you know, his mom doesn't have control over everything.
Yeah.
Why? I wonder what happened to the little sister.
She probably still out.
Jamie Jones probably has about 12
Jessica
kids
Simpson
by
be
now.
out here tripping too, though.
Who?
Jessica Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
Something wrong with her. Like,
She ain't been right ever since her and Nick had that show on MTV. They ain't been right since
after
then.
that chicken and tuna thing.
Newlyweds.
Yeah, that shit used to be funny to me.
It sure
Yeah.
did.
The show was fucking
Remember,
hilarious.
Brandy had a show too.
She
She had a baby that wasn't
Yeah,
even a baby
Moesha.
daddy. Did you sure know that?
What?
Yes, the man that they had on the show when Brandy was pregnant, like that was her husband. They was having this baby. Turned out he wasn't even a daddy. His name was Robert. Remember? They had Robert in the.
I remember that.
Everything. Robert ain't the daddy.
Wow.
Right, it was just on there to make it look good, like she had a husband and finna have a baby. You don't never see the child. Robert gone. He been out the picture.
Yo, she had that wreck and killed that damn man.
Ooh, she sure did.
Damn.
Them celebrities, they be going out for deep end.
Hollywood, Hollywood is.
Or Elijah Wood, you know, from Lord of the Rings. He
was
that,
speaking out.
He said that whenever he was a kid, that his mom had to, like, actively protect him from producers who were trying to molest him. Because he was in a movie with Macaulay Culkin whenever they were little kids called The Good Son.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, most of those child stars, like, their parents don't give a shit about them. They're just seeing him as, like, a paycheck. But Elijah Wood's mom apparently...
Once again, back to the R. Kelly shit.
Yeah, and Elijah Wood's mom, you know, took care of him and had to like really try hard to keep him away from child molesters.
Wow.
And he said that Hollywood is a pit of vipers, like that it's just people
I believe
like
it
that.
though. I mean, think about some of these people that's been superstars since they were kids, and look where they at now. It's a couple of them that made it and that's doing all right.
Jason Bateman. I mean, there's a few that were child stars that made it. But
look at the little girl from Family Matters. We ain't seen her since she went upstairs. She started doing porn.
Oh, the girl from In the House.
Oh, Mia Campbell.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, Macaulay Culkin actually turned out pretty good, all things considered. Like, I've seen him in interviews, and he just kind of does his own thing. I mean, he's a
he
little
look crazy,
weird.
but he doing all right.
They got him, like, in a weird picture. Like, I've seen him in interviews, like, more recently, and he looks fine. I mean, acts all right. I mean, he's kind of weird, but it's not too bad. For somebody who had their parents steal all of his money, yeah, I mean, you're not
And Mike went here to recoup none of the funds for him.
Mm-hmm.
I seen where they were trying to shame, what's his name? Jackie Chan. They were trying to say he don't fool his daughter.
The Crowder Man?
Yeah, Rush Hour.
Yeah, he don't fool with his daughter, but his daughter they had like scammed him out of like $300,000.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't fuck with your ass either.
Me either, because you doing
me-
some whole shit.
Yeah. They was trying to like shame like he doesn't fool with his daughter. He got a daughter he doesn't mess with.
I was like, she don't fool with me.
So does
For real.
Lawrence
that note,
Fishburne.
she don't fool with me.
Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne don't fool with his daughter.
Yeah,
Don't she do
shit.
porn or something like that?
Yeah,
They said they reconciled her recently.
Yeah.
But in other news, honorable mention of the week, of the day, of the moment, I would like to say, would you like to give it to the one and only Pop Smoke.
Of course. I have been jamming Pop
Hey,
Smoke all week.
Let me take this back. I said Pop Smoke music was ass.
You said it sound like Mortal Kombat.
Sound like arcade music.
You have to
It's
take
not
it back
good.
now.
No, that
Billy,
hey,
Billy,
that
Billy
snitching. Billy Bitchy Jean, Christian Dior, when it rain it pours. Hey, that snitching that he got. Hey, that.
But you talking about the snitches on jamming.
That
But the other shit, he do got some shit sound like
No, that
Shaolin
night-
music. It go.
Man, he
be
got
like-
a lot of
He
songs.
got a couple songs
He
in
do.
that album.
No, on that CD he got.
That
On
Mama
that CD, it's
Swing?
only like 4 songs I don't like on the CD. And that's the ones that got like that.
Yeah.
I ain't like that song.
I like that 44 Bulldog.
44 Bulldog. I like
with Sway
yeah.
Lee. I like the.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, it is Jamie.
Yeah,
Do you know who
Jamie.
Pop Smoke is, Cody?
I mean, I didn't know who he was until he died, and I looked up his music. And
Well, they didn't cop people that killed him too.
Yeah, I just thought,
What did you think about it?
it didn't make me sad that he died. I was just like, his music's not very good, so.
It's New York drill.
Yeah, but I don't think he was very good.
Oh man.
He reminds
Sometimes
me
you
of,
gotta go through the things to, you know what I'm saying, be feeling what.
I'm gonna be real. He reminds me of like 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks.
Yeah, see, I don't really like 50 Cent either. I didn't really like either of those two. I didn't really ever like their music.
You didn't go through a G Unit phase?
I had the shoes in the game.
I was one of the few white kids in the trailer park that didn't go through a G Unit phase.
You definitely went through a Marshall Mathers phase.
I'm still in a Marshall Mathers phase. I'll always be. Eminem's the GOAT.
Man, G Unit came out. They had shoes. I had shoes and the video game. Remember the G Unit video game?
Yeah.
I don't remember the game.
I don't remember.
They had a video game that came out. I had to though.
Good
Yeah,
Lord.
I went through the 50 Cent phase.
Yeah,
Had
so I
CD.
like the 50.
Huh?
I like the 50 and Young Book.
Young Book is in a world
Of trouble.
Well, he wasn't in trouble either.
You might need to reach out to Young Book.
I'll try.
All right.
Yeah, but it's just sad. But in other words, we have a surprise guest here.
Yeah.
We have a legend in the flesh. Let me break it down to you.
Yes.
This is a legendary figure in the music industry, and we have had a tremendous blessed upon us to be able to speak with him today. I'm going to let Cody bring it in because he is the magic
Billy
of the
Sheehan.
hour for this.
Yes.
All right.
Here's your $20 for
Billy
saying that.
Sheehan. All right, thank you. All right, so I guess we just kind of want to start with the beginning with Buffalo, New York.
That's correct. Queen City by the Lakes.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I mean, when did you start playing bass?
Oh man, it wasn't long after I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, which was in the 60s, as you know.
Yeah, 64,
And,
right?
I just when I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan and I saw all the girls screaming, I said, that's the job for me.
Hey, that's how
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
That's the way to go.
oh yeah.
That's what's up, for real.
I mean,
for
do you-
female.
That's
So a lot of us got our start.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, when did you start your first band?
Oh, we just thought it was like grammar school. We did a couple jam things. By the time I got into high school, we were, there wasn't an official band, but I kept getting together with different types. And then I had my first band I performed with was called Opus One. It was a horn band, 11 guys, 4 horns, 3 singers, guitar, bass, drums, keyboard. It was, as you can tell, the money wouldn't go very far. We just split it between 11 guys. So I think
Yeah.
for our first show, I made $7.
Oh, okay, that's good. Y'all
Yeah.
kept consistent.
Yeah,
That's what I
well
like.
then, things changed pretty quick then, I guess.
Well, not quick enough, but they did
Yeah.
change eventually.
At what age were you whenever you joined David Lee Roth?
Well, I'd already, I'd been playing for, over a decade in the Buffalo area, and then we started writing originals, and put a record out, and put another record out, and opened up for a lot of big bands, and we started playing anywhere within 12 to 14-hour drive of Buffalo was in striking distance for us.
Okay.
So we played in New York City, Boston, Toronto, Montreal, Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, St. Louis, you name it. We went all over the place. So we were pretty well known. And then by the time Dave called, we'd already opened for Van Halen in 1980. Did about 30 shows with them, and then he called the summer of '85, and I was just about to start a tour with Yngwie across the USA. So I did that tour. When I got finished, he flew me out to LA to start the Eat 'Em Smile Band, and so that was the summer of '85. So, but in the interim, there was thousands of shows, thousands of gigs, and the usual formula. Most bands start out playing in a copy band, and then they write a couple of songs and a few more, and then they do 10%, and then 20, then 50% original, and make their record and go on from there. That was the formula that thousands of bands followed. So that's pretty much the path we were on also.
Okay. Well, one, your playing style is, I mean, typically a bass is, I mean, it has its similarities to like lead guitar, but I mean, your style is a lot closer to lead guitar playing than most. I mean, did you already play like that, or was playing with people like Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert, did that kind of influence you more?
No. The timeline is wrong. I came before Steve and before Paul and before a lot of guys. I'm an older guy, so I was already off and running. I toured with UFO in Europe in '83. Like I said, opened for Van Halen in 1980. I think Paul was still in grammar school, and so I got the idea of playing some of the things I do at Hammer-Ons. They're called. Seeing Billy Gibbons in '74. ZZ Top opened up for Alice Cooper, and we were right in the front row. Billy Gibbons hit a note with his right hand on the fretboard. We all looked at each other like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you could play a note like that!" So I went home and started doing Hammer-Ons.
Oh, so you
and
saw...
then Helen came out in whatever '78 or so. He had done them also, but he was doing them on the guitar. It's a little easier. The strings are lighter. They got those little tiny thin strings like a Velveeta cheese cutter, you know. And the bass strings got those big manly strings, so it takes a lot more strength. But all kidding aside, Ed came out and really popularized the technique and was the grand master at it for so long. So, but yeah, I was already off and running by the time. Most of the guys I ended up playing with by the time before they were performing anywhere or in bands or anything like that. So there is an advantage to being an old guy. And the other advantage is the first concert I saw was Jimi Hendrix, so that was a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, oh, really? You saw Hendrix?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that probably had more of an influence than anything, even though you were playing bass, I mean...
Yeah, well, at the time, I didn't think of the battle lines drawn between bass and guitar or drums or keyboard. I thought we were all just playing as best we could. And I was lucky in Buffalo, I played in a three-piece band, so there's all kinds of room for the bass to do a lot of stuff. And there's no keyboards or rhythm guitar to hold it together while the guitar player solos. So I kind of took those roles, too. So playing in a three-piece band really helped me to start get a sound that's bigger, to fill up the holes and do more stuff to make the songs work. Because we played a lot of copy tunes that had a lot of extra parts in them that we played like Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas, so all the keyboard parts I would do as a bass part. Deep Purple Burn, I played a keyboard solo on bass because the guitar player already did the guitar solo. So it just kind of forced me to have to do extra stuff to make the songs sound like they were supposed to sound.
Yeah.
So it was the blessing in disguise, I guess.
I mean, when did you really consider yourself that you had made it? Is it touring with Dave, or is it Mr. Big, or is it even before that?
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
I'll let you know when it happens.
All right.
Hey, that's the way to go, right there.
I've been very lucky. I'm kidding, of course. I'm very grateful for Dave and him flying me out and started the Eat 'em a Smile band. It was an amazing time. After that, lightning struck twice, and I got put Mr. Big together. I remember telling my mom, "Hey, Mom, we got a song on the radio." And she, "Oh, that's nice. Mom, it's on Billboard charts. That's nice. Mom, it's #1. Oh, that's really good. Mom, our record went platinum. Oh, that's nice." And finally, one day I said to her, "Mom, we're going to be on the Tonight Show." She went, "What? You're kidding!"
Yeah.
By her backtrack, that was the point where her song actually made it when we were on the Tonight Show, and it was pretty amazing because we were on once and we just played a song, and Jay Leno was the host. Johnny still had the Tonight Show, but Jay was guest hosting.
Oh, okay.
They invited us back, and they came into the green room and said, "Hey, Jay wants you guys to sit on the couch. Who wants to sit in chair #1?" and everyone looked at me because I'm usually the voice that I do most of the interviews and everything. So I sat in chair number 1 on the Tonight Show, which was at that point, it is a wonderful world, and man, am I grateful.
Whenever you found out that album went platinum, I mean, what was your reaction?
Well, when we found out the single went number 1, we were playing a tiny little club in Florida. We were on tour, and a lot of the places were great, but then in between shows, you had to book in little cruddy little places. And I forgot the name of the place, but I know they were out in the parking lot trying to nail together boxes of plywood for the PA system to put speakers in. And I thought, oh man, it's going to be a rough night. And sure enough, we got the phone call. Oh, by the way, dude, you just won number 1. And we were waiting because Prince and Michael Jackson both had a song ahead of us. We thought for sure, no way we're going to bump them out of the number 1 spot. And bang, sure enough, we heard that we bumped Prince and Michael Jackson out of the number 1 spot and grabbed it. So from then on, I always had to start my car bumping.
Man. Oh, I would have been hollering.
Yeah.
I would have been hollering.
Oh, man.
Hey, Billy, what year was that, though?
Say again?
I said, what year was that when your album went platinum like that?
That was 92.
Oh, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
90s.
Yeah, 90s, okay.
Yeah, that's...
But it was number 1 in 14 countries, so it was our passport to the world. So we went off to... we went everywhere, and everywhere we went, people knew that song.
Yeah.
Even recently, like a couple of years ago, we played in India for the first time. That's a book in itself right there for that adventure. But we got there, and everybody knew that song, and everybody wanted to hear it. Pretty amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to have a hit record, I urge you to do it because it really is a life changer. And again, we're just so jazzed and so thankful. Something like that could happen to us. Pretty amazing.
That's what's up.
Man.
If you don't mind, do you mind me asking, what was your wildest experience?
Oh man, there's a long list.
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah.
And the ratings are from PG to X, so I'm not sure which one I should do.
You can go far as you want to go, man.
Yeah.
It's whatever you feel like saying.
Yeah. We're all adults.
No,
Go all the way.
Most of the storytelling is more performance art, so it's kind of hard to describe some of these stories unless we're in the room together, because I got to stand up and recite some of the things that happened to us. But we had adventures. People keep asking me to write a book, because every once in a while we sit down with a couple people. Somebody pops open a bottle of wine, the stories start coming, and at the end of it, people go, "You got to write this stuff down. You got to do a book." So someday I probably will. But between the old days, playing in the clubs, being a bar band, all the incredible stuff we went through, then being with David Lee Roth, the UFO tour. I did the UFO tour in '83, and when I came home, Spinal Tap, the movie, came out, and I went to see it, and it was not funny.
Yeah,
I didn't laugh once, because I had just done exactly that in Europe with UFO. So great bunch of guys, but man, it was going to be the last tour for quite a while. I know that. Well, it's a bad situation, but man, I've been through it. But it's great. I do have many great stories to tell. So if I see you in person, I'll go on the tour bus, get a bottle of wine, pop it open, get a couple of red Solo cups, and we'll launch.
All right,
yeah.
All right, I'm ready
that's
for
a
that.
deal.
What's your favorite wine?
Yeah.
I like Malbecs. They're nice. It's an Argentinian or Chilean wine. It's kind of a Cabernet family, but the Malbecs are. I've never had a bad one.
Okay.
And when I go down we play in South America a lot, in Argentina and in Chile, so I'm always happy to go down there, and it's really inexpensive wine, so you can get a great Malbec for $10 or $12. And I highly recommend.
What's the most fun country to play in? Like, where you think you have like the biggest fans?
Well, people always cliche us into being big in Japan, because we played Japan. We did great in Japan. We were just the #1 Western band. I remember when grunge started to take over, and a lot of the rock bands in America were fading away. I know we outsold Pearl Jam in Japan. The statistic was 40-1 was their sales ratio to ours. So we did great in Japan, and but that wasn't the only place. A lot of people default to talking about Japan, but we played for 100,000 people on a beach on Santos Beach outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. We played huge festivals and great shows all over Europe, Malaysia, Indonesia. We were one of the first Western bands to play some of the cities in Indonesia. I still get more hits and email from Indonesia than anywhere else in the world. And so it's the other great thing is just the travel aspect, the food aspect of all these places that we've been to that's a book in itself too. Japan has been amazing though. We played 3 sold out nights at the Budokan. We did all kinds of festivals there. We had all kinds of #1 singles and platinum records there. And it's such a foreign country. When you go to Europe, at least the alphabet is the same. I mean, you may not be able to read or speak German, French, or Italian, but at least it's A, B, C, D. Where in Japan, I don't know what that is. It looks like a penguin holding a stop sign, or I don't know what it is. I remember one time I was there with a Japanese band, and we were deep in the countryside, and we stayed at a hotel, and the numbers on the room were in Japanese. They weren't Western numbers. So I had to remember what the little squiggle with the line in a box, that was my room. And luckily, after the amount of sake we had at dinner, luckily I happened to go and open the right door. But Japan is an amazing adventure. We went from and most bands go to Japan to play Tokyo, or maybe Tokyo and Osaka. We played from the north to the south, and probably 20 or 30 cities we've played in Japan, and it's been an incredible adventure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I mean, like, how many shows do you think you did? I mean, how many were on, like, a typical tour? Like 180, something like that?
Well, I know my lifetime total is over 5,000.
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shows.
As dumb as this might sound, does it ever get boring?
No, I do love to play. I get off it. It's my biggest thing. To get up on deck and get on stage and play. Studio, it's okay. You got to do it. Do it. You do your best, and it's nice. But there's nothing like being in front of a live audience, and it's you're playing songs and they're screaming and yelling. We're having a riot. After show, we hang out. I always go out after show. If this situation allows, of course, go out by the bus, hang out with fans, talk, take photos, sign things, and I got friends, amazing friends all over the planet because of that. It's just pretty awesome, pretty cool, and so live shows are just the greatest. Even from the early days in the clubs, we didn't have a dressing room, so you got done with your set, and you just stepped off the front of the stage and hung out with everybody and looked at the clock, time for another set, got back up on and played. So we've always been really close. I have in particular been close with the audience in that respect. I never really put a barrier up between the stage and the audience. So as a result, I got just great friends all over the place, and it's one of my most valuable aspects of my life. They're some of the people that I know all over from Thailand and Indonesia and India and Germany and Russia, and I get email from Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran and Bangladesh, Pakistan, all from Africa, from Ethiopia. It's pretty amazing.
Do you play with Scalloped Frets?
Well, there's a couple of frets at the top of my neck that are scalloped, but the entire neck isn't. Now, to the uninitiated, a scallop is where the frets are little wires that go across the wood that you push the guitar strings down and make a note. But sometimes your finger touches the wood in between them, so you can hollow that out, like the shell of a scallop has those little hollows, and so that your finger doesn't touch the wood. On a guitar, that's okay, because guitar, like I said before, has thin little strings.
Right.
But bass is big, thick, and heavy, and a lot of pressure on the neck, so you couldn't really scallop an entire bass neck. Plus, for bass, you need that one solid note to be absolutely rock solid and righteous. So up at the top of the neck, I scalloped halfway across. I scalloped like 5 frets. But I just, I did that on my old bass, and all my Yamahas now kind of imitate my first old original bass I used. So it's not, I can play a bass without them. It's no big deal. But it's kind of an interesting little side note that we scalloped the top frets kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I had read that, and then, I mean, were you already doing that, or was that kind of more influence from Yngwie? Because, I mean, Yngwie plays with scalloped frets, right?
Yeah, I'd known about scallops, and friends of mine had their scalloping done in the early 70s. Because, when John McLaughlin, some of you folks might not know of him, and John McLaughlin and the Mahavishnu Orchestra, was this prog band that came out in the 70s, and they were unbelievable, and John McLaughlin had scalloped frets. And later on, Richie Blackmore had them. So I heard about it for a long time. And then the summer of '85, we did the tour with Yngwie. I was in in a hotel somewhere, and I always had my toolkit with me. So I took my Dremel Moto tool, and I fired it up and hollowed out the frets on the first couple of frets, and just kind of left it like that. I didn't think much about it, but everybody kind of made a big deal about it. And so eventually, when they did my Yamaha basses, they put the scallop. They did it correctly, though, not with the Dremel Moto tool. They did it properly. So that's quite a higher quality version of it than my beat up old bass.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yngwie had all scalloped frets. Yngwie originally was brought to America to start a band with me and Dean Castronova, who later ended up playing drums for Journey.
Right.
But it didn't work out, so he went off and played with Alcatraz, and then started his own thing. So when we got together on that tour, it was kind of cool, as we were finally playing together. We go up, and I play the encores with him and stuff like that. And he was just amazing every night. He's a dear friend and just a mind-blowing guitarist who changed the world.
Yeah, I play a little guitar. I mean, I have since, I was a kid, and I mean, Yngwie has always been like kind of my goal, but yeah, I mean, good luck ever trying to be that good. Yeah, I know. That's, I mean, and really the same for Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert. Good luck ever being as good as either of those two. So,
well, in all fairness, anything is possible. It is within your striking range. However, the amount of work and dedication and relentless pursuit it's going to take, that changes from person to person. I believe anybody is capable of doing just about anything, but it may take you may have to quit everything, lock yourself up in a room for 10 years to get there. So, but I do believe anything's possible. I never would sell anybody short on their goals, because it can be done. But man, and I just saw a guy, some Harvard graduate, has some YouTube channel where he analyzes the guitar techniques of every great player and exactly where their wrist is and how it moves and what kind of pick they have and the angle of the pick and the thickness. It's unbelievable. The guy got it down to an absolute science. I think his name is Torrey something, but he's a Harvard graduate, and he's obviously a physicist and knows his math too, but man, he goes deep into it. Pretty amazing.
As a child, I mean, who were your biggest influences, like, for bass? I mean, was it people like John Entwistle or McCartney? Or...
Well, like I said, I'm a lot older, so the earliest guys for me were Paul McCartney, and of course then a guy named Paul Samuel Smith played in a band called the Yardbirds.
Yeah.
And they were famous because Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, and Eric Clapton played in that band, but people always overlooked the bass player, Paul Samuel Smith. He was mind-blowing. So he's a big influence on me. And then Tim Bogert from the Vanilla Fudge, who went on to play with Jeff Beck and Beck Bogert and Apathy and Cactus and a few other bands. He was a early, mind-blowing player. And Jack Cassidy from Jefferson Airplane and Jack Bruce. Then eventually, when the Who came around later on, Entwistle and everybody, and then a lot of jazz guys, Ray Brown, Ron Carter, guys like that, and all kinds of music too. I listen to everything from Sinatra to Bulgarian choir, so you name it.
So this is probably kind of a loaded question, but what do you think happened to rock music? Just kind of gone almost.
From an outsider who just used to watch it, hear it on the radio, and then watch it on MTV, you may wonder, well, what happened? It's all gone. But in fact, it's healthy and alive. There are a festival season in Europe. Every weekend there's a festival with like 100,000 people at it, and it's all over the place. Sweden, France, Germany, in England, in Ireland, everywhere. It's mind-blowing, and it's healthy, and bands are touring like crazy, and gigs are all over the place. Record sales aren't that much, but nobody's really relying on that as much anymore.
Yeah, everything's coming from just touring.
People seem to get the impression that it's all gone down the drain and gone to hell. But in fact, the last couple of years, I've just been non-stop busy. I mean, the whole virus pandemic shutdown thing is, of course, a catastrophe to everyone, particularly bands and musicians, because we play in front of crowds, and if they can't be crowds, we can't play. So I'm out of work probably till way into like next year or further.
Yeah.
But in a way, a lot of us that we've spoken together, we were almost kind of glad to finally get time off, because we've been hitting it nonstop for years and just playing everywhere. Australia, Southeast Asia, Japan, Russia, all over Europe, all over Scandinavia, all over South America and North America. So it's just a huge market. And we play in South America, and crowds are out of control. It's jam-packed. Thousands of people, and they're all singing. We play down there with Mr. Big. They sing the solos. They sing the guitar solos along with the guitar player. I mean, they know every word of every song. And the audiences are young. They're young kids, and they love it. And so, actually, rock is in a pretty good place right now, and music business in general. Yeah. Unfortunately, now we just got everybody got punched in the face with the situation, but prior to that, things were good.
Have you ever had a lapse of, something like this where you had to take this much time off?
No, this is the longest I haven't played in my life, really.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not go crazy? I mean, I don't even have a career like that, and I'm already kind of getting cabin fever.
Well, the good part of it is, almost everybody has a little home recording studio. I've got one. It's not elaborate, but I can do pretty much anything here. And people contact me from around the world for me to play on their tracks, and they send me the files. We lay it down. I send them the finished product, and so it's been a great way of income for myself and a lot of other people. I started a production company with a friend of mine who's an engineer and a drummer, Ray Lugier, who plays with Korn. He lives close to me, so we do bass and drums on people's records all over the place now, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we're having a good time recording, and plus I'm a home handyman, so I've been fixing everything you can imagine around the house. I'm running out of stuff to fix, so I don't know what I'm going to do when that happens.
All right, what was the first purchase you made? Whenever you started getting, decently successful, that you were like, okay, I've always wanted this, since I was a kid. Now I have the money. I gotta buy this.
Oh, I was born in '53. That was the year the Corvettes came out.
Oh,
I think it was '53, maybe '52. And when I was a kid, I was always crazy for Corvettes. And no way I ever had the money to buy a new car or buy anything less than a car that was more than $300 or $400. So I remember the car when I left Buffalo to go to L.A., the car I left behind was a '77 Ford Pinto. And you know how they have the fake wheel in the trunk?
Okay.
They have the fake wheel in the trunk. That if you get a flat, you're supposed to put that on just so you get to the gas station and you get it fixed. Well, I rode on that fake wheel for about 2 years because I couldn't afford a tire. So I got to L.A. and Dave was kind enough to just put me on salary right away, and things were looking good. So sure enough, I walked into the Chevy dealership, and there you go. I finally got my Corvette, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the new Corvette that came out in 2020? This was it the C8, I think.
Pretty badass.
Yeah.
The Corvettes are fast and loud and bumpy, and couple of years ago, I decided to go through the more comfort ride. So I abandoned my Corvette years, but it was great. It was just one that I had, and it was a rocket ship too. I remember being on Sunset Boulevard, and I had it all jacked up, and stainless steel headers, and custom lifters, and different gear ratio, and a custom computer chip on it. Some Porsche pulled up next to me on Sunset Boulevard, and stupid. This is stupid. I look back in retrospect. I could have gone right to jail, right?
Yeah.
On Sunset Boulevard, broad daylight. And the guy looks at me. You want to go? And I said, okay. And I never raced. I was never a car nut. I never raced anybody. So I hit that thing, and I saw just the ass end spun out, and I went down the street in a cloud of tire smoke. And about 40 seconds later, he pulled up at the next light behind me. You want to go again? I go, yeah, that's good. I'm good, bro. I think we've established whose car. So it was pretty exciting. But again, I was never much of a car guy. I just wanted to have it because I thought girls would love me, but it didn't work.
Yeah. So when did you move to LA? Was that like 85? Was that right whenever you joined Dave's band?
Summer of 85.
Okay.
Summer of 85. I got the call Dave flew me out, and he told me he's flying me out because he wanted me to be in his movie. So I said, what? Movie? So it turns out that was a cover story, so I wouldn't blow the secret in case I told him. And I got there, and he goes, well, there is a movie. But I go, but here's the thing. I want to start a band. So it's going to be you and me. We'll find a guitar player. We'll find a drummer, and let's make a band, and we're going to do a movie also. I said, well, I always told people my old band in Buffalo was called Talus, and I said, I'd never leave Talus unless I got asked to join Van Halen. So David Lee Roth asked me, and I said, close enough.
Yeah.
I was gone.
So, I mean,
that was the end of that.
So was he still in Van Halen whenever he was flying you out and everything, or was he already gone?
But Van Halen didn't know he was gone. So when he told me about it, I was sworn to secrecy right at that point, and I had a conversation with Ed the day before, and Ed told me, and I told Ed, I'm going to have a meeting with Dave, and Ed said, oh, what? But tell me what he says. Yeah. So I went and had a meeting with Dave. He told me, yeah, I quit the band, and I'm starting a new band. So I said, I better keep my mouth shut, so I never called Ed back. Now, since then, we've become friends again, and he's cool, and he's great, and I love all those guys, and I love Van Halen, and I wish Michael was back in the band, too. But
I know.
This is the way life goes, but there's no bigger fan of Van Halen than myself. So.
How do you end up in a band and not hate each other? I mean, I cannot understand how more bands don't break up.
And it's sad. Well, I'm lucky. All the bands I've been in, even guys I had trouble with, later on, we just thought, what's the point? It's been years. Let's drop it. There's no reason to be mad that I dated your girlfriend, in '77.
Oh wow!
She's the grandmother now. Come on.
Yeah.
No reason to get.
I mean, what was the Sunset Strip like in '85? Because just like a little warning, I was born in '93, so I missed everything.
It was like the Mardi Gras every night. It was lined with people jammed up and down the street, cars bumper to bumper. It was rock and roll was king. Every club had a band. It was jammed. I spent a lot of time at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. We just had a riot. Everybody was there. Everybody was out. Everybody from every band. It was amazing. I just wish they had video footage of what the street was like. It was, 4 people wide and 1,000 people deep on each sidewalk on each side, and it was insane. It was, I was never a drug guy. I smoked dope a little bit in high school, but since '71, I haven't even had an aspirin. I never tried cocaine. I never did drugs at all. Yeah. But I do enjoy a drink once in a while, maybe 1 or 2. And so we had a riot, but there was all kinds of shenanigans going on too. But I was removed from that because when you're not a drug guy, a lot of people keep it from you. So I didn't even see it a lot of the places.
Yeah,
it was kind of right under the radar. But it was a riot. It was a great time. Bands were everywhere, and exciting, and man, it was no movie will do it justice. Somebody decides to do a movie of what the Sunset Strip was like in the 80s. All of us are going to see it and go, no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It was way hotter than that.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing.
There is the Motley Crue, The Dirt. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but they kind of touch on the Sunset Strip, but I mean, yeah, there's no way that it's even close.
Yeah, all that stuff gets cleaned up. Trust me.
Yeah.
I even saw a documentary around the Rambo Bar and Grill, and they left a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
But that's where, again, you got to sit down with a bottle of wine and a couple of glasses, and that's when the stories come out.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. We know a publicist in LA, and her mom runs either the Comedy Club or the Laugh Factory or one of those big comedy or the Improv, one of those shows out there.
Yeah,
and I had the idea one time. We'd invite all the music people business down to a night. Everybody's got to put their cell phone in an envelope and put it away before you walk in. No cell phones, no cameras, no nothing. And we'd let musicians come up one by one and tell the real story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would be mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, even the ones that get published, like Hammer of the Gods, the Led Zeppelin biography, the stories that are in those, I mean, yeah, you can't imagine like what the ones would be that don't get published.
You're hearing about 15% of what actually happened. Pretty amazing.
Wow.
That's crazy how they try to sugarcoat everything. Yeah. I'm just really kind of stunned by all the stories that you got to tell.
Did you ever want to perform at Coachella?
Coachella?
Yeah, the one they have in Cali every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Coachella's
pretty dusty.
wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's actually dressing room. You know, it's funny. A lot of bands now, even the festivals in Europe, which are really together, they've got like amazing catering and a great dressing room and a big room for all the bands to go and hang out. But even though it's not a real comfort experience, and a lot of bands are a little older now, they don't really want to be sitting in the dirt so much. So who knows? Maybe they'll play it someday.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest crowd that you've played for? Is it that 100,000 on the beach, or is it even one bigger than that?
100,000.
Yeah, we did 100,000. We did 80,000 in France at the Hellfest. Remember that festival? Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been around. We've done like 80, 100, 120,000 various times.
Ooh.
Pretty cool. I did a tour of the Japanese band in Japan. They're called the Bees. B''Z. You've never heard of them.
Yeah.
And they played Japan only, sing in Japanese, and they've sold more records than Madonna.
Damn.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's kind of like the K-pop.
Yeah. Man.
We did a whole tour all summer, and it was only soccer stadiums. The smallest was 80,000.
The smallest.
And there wasn't an empty seat in the place in the entire arena. Amazing. So it's pretty. Like I said before, I'm extremely grateful and thankful that I've had these opportunities. But man, it's I wish them on other people too. This is just such an amazing thing.
Yeah, can't take that from.
It's pretty cool. And there's more to come. I mean, when this whole thing ends. The Winery Dogs, a new band I have a ride in that band. People have gone crazy for it. We played all over the world already, and it's been amazing. We did a show in Paris, France, one of the most crowded shows I ever did in my life. Shows we did in England during the summer with the Winery Dogs, some of the hottest shows I've ever played ever. And then also Sons of Apollo, another band I have. Mr. Big isn't out yet. We sadly we lost our drummer. We're not currently not playing anywhere, but who knows? We may get together and do some more shows at some point. So there's more to come. I'm happy to say.
Stunned to hear all these stories.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I'm really
your
amazed.
time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate your knowledge.
We just really amazed by all your stories that you told us. So we just kind of appreciate your time.
Yeah, just caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of got caught up in the moment.
Thank you.
Appreciate your blessings with your time.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything anywhere where people can follow you and find out more?
Well, I've got my Facebook has a little blue check mark. Means Facebook verified. It's really me.
Okay.
When people write to me, I read. It's a big job, but I read every message and every email, and I respond to everything. All the comments, I'll click a like or a heart on just to let them know I saw it.
Yeah.
And it's important to me. Again, like I said before, you know, sometimes it means a lot to someone, and I've got emails from people that I wrote to or I responded to years ago, and years go by, and they write back to me and say how important that was to them. I say, you know, for me to take a minute and write a little thing and send it off to somebody, and it makes them that happy, it's pretty easy for me to do. And I'm so glad to see that people, it means a lot to them. So I do enjoy doing it. Plus, it allows me to put my thumb on the pulse of what's going on. People write to me about this record or that record or the show, or about my bass or my amp or my stuff, and I answer all those questions. But I do enjoy doing it. It is a huge job. And some people, you know, I'll do a master class or a bass clinic, and I'll say maybe there's 300 people there. I'll say, anybody here ever get a message from me? And you see like 75 hands go up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that it's really me, and I really do answer. So if anybody wants to find me on Twitter, on Instagram, I got a Facebook personal page and a band page, and I've got a BillySheehan.com website also. You can just click on that to write to me directly also. And I may not get back to you instantly, but I will eventually get back to everybody. Like I said, I do enjoy it. I enjoy hearing from people, and enjoy, like I said, I make friends with people all over the world, and it's one of my most prized and valuable aspects of my life.
I mean, I speak for everybody when I say we really appreciate your time. I mean, this was really incredible to get to sit down and talk to you. I mean, I'm such a huge fan.
My pleasure. If you have a link for this podcast and want to send it to me, I'll do my best to post it and get it so you get some more clicks for yourself.
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah, we are really grateful for you. I mean, we'll definitely do that. I'll send you a link, you know, whenever it gets posted. Probably about a week from now. But this is really something. So just want to thank you for everything.
Well, thank you all very much. Wish you guys the very best, and hopefully we'll be out playing again soon, and you can come down to a live gig and hear some of those real stories.
We'll be there for sure.
Definitely will be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
definitely.
Well, I just want to say goodbye and thank you so much for everything.
All right, folks. Thank you for having me on, and I'm wishing you all the best.
All right.
Thank you. Bye, Billy.
Oh, you have a good one.
Deuces.
All right, take care.
Tell her stop playing with me. Let's talk about money, then please stay away from me. I see demons, somebody please pray for me. I recline in my chair and wait patiently. Tell her stop playing with me. Yeah. Tell her stop playing with me. Yeah.